I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to.
The courtroom is packed, the tension is intense, and then, bam, cameras catch it all. Whoopi Goldberg starts to lose her composure, not physically yet, but everything else falls apart. Her usual confidence, the control she once had over the room, is gone. She's hunched over, blinking rapidly, one hand gripping the desk, the other twitching near her face. This is the same woman who once ruled the Theview like a queen, now looking like she's struggling just to breathe. But this isn't a TV show, it's a full-blown legal battle, and Karoline just dropped a bombshell. The $800 million lawsuit Whoopi once brushed off is now tearing through the court, pushed forward by a judge who's clearly tired of delays. Now, with receipts flying and emotions boiling, Whoopi is coming apart, and the whole country is watching. Before we break down this shocking fall, hit that like button for the truth, and subscribe if you believe fame doesn't make you untouchable. Great, because this story's about to blow wide open. Let's rewind to where it all started.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
The cameras were rolling and the stage was set as Karoline Leavitt walked onto the Theview with calm confidence, like she belonged there, because she did. But instead of a friendly welcome, the co-hosts circled her like sharks sensing blood. Joy Behar struck first, mocking Karoline's youth and suggesting someone so young couldn't possibly have real political insight, earning laughs from the panel. Then Sunny Hostin chimed in with a polished insult about white privilege, a line she'd used before, but this time, it hit like a sniper shot. And then came Whoopi Goldberg, the queen of sharp comebacks, who locked eyes with Karoline and delivered a brutal blow. You didn't earn this, you're just a product of right-wing pity politics. The crowd roared, the host smiled, but Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't fight back, didn't make a scene, she just took notes, mentally saving every word, every smirk. Days later, there was no rant, no dramatic post, no podcast, just a lawsuit. A massive $800 million defamation case was filed, served, and instantly made headlines. At first, the Theview hosts laughed it off, Whoopi scoffed, Sunny shrugged, and the rest expected it to disappear. But this wasn't going away, it was only getting bigger. The case was fast-tracked by the court, depositions pushed up, witness lists growing, and private communications brought into evidence. Karoline's legal team went all in, demanding uncut footage, internal emails, producer notes, even Slack messages from the control room. And what they found was devastating. This wasn't just a few sharp words, it was a planned ambush. One document showed producers instructing Joy to mock Karoline's age and let Whoopi go hard, predicting it would trend. Another note said to zoom in on Karoline's reaction for the perfect viral clip. The courtroom fell silent. This wasn't spontaneous TV, it was a coordinated attack dressed up as casual conversation. The judge leaned forward, stunned, as Whoopi sat pale and tense, her lawyer gently touching her arm. She pulled away, scanning the room like someone looking for a way out that doesn't exist. More evidence dropped, Slack messages about baiting Karoline with Trump mentions, fallback plans to hit her with race topics, and emails confirming that Whoopi was chosen to lead the charge because the audience trusted her. Internal script drafts even included bold instructions to attack with intellect, dismiss with humor, flip the crowd. Karoline's team backed it all up with digital forensics proving the messages were real and untouched. At one point, the judge removed his glasses, looked straight at ABC's attorneys, and asked if their producers had coached the hosts. Silence. No denial, no defense, just stunned lawyers flipping through binders. In the corner, Whoopi sat frozen, her hands clenched so tightly her knuckles turned white. She wasn't confused or surprised, she was scared. This wasn't just a PR nightmare, it was a legal disaster, playing out in real time, and Karoline hadn't said a single word. 2 hours in, the tension in the room was heavy, the lights felt hotter, and the once commanding Whoopi Goldberg sat slumped, silent, her hands twitching as she picked at a tissue and fidgeted with the table, a woman once full of fire now visibly falling apart.
I respect everything everyone is saying to me, and I don't want to fake apologize. I'm very upset about that people are misunderstood what I was.
The attorney leans in close, but she doesn't respond. She doesn't even blink. And then, just like that, a single tear escapes, tracing a slow, silent path down Whoopi Goldberg's cheek, catching the harsh courtroom lights like a spotlight. She wipes it away quickly, hoping no one noticed, but everyone did. Journalists glance at each other, one quietly typing, Whoopi crying, into their live blog, another already drafting a breaking headline, Goldberg breaks down in court. The judge calls for a 10-minute recess. Everyone stands, the attorneys file out, reporters rise, viewers glued to courthouse monitors lean forward, but Whoopi stays frozen, not looking up, not moving. A bailiff walks over gently, checking on her, and she whispers, voice cracking with defeat, I didn't know they saved all of that. Across the room, Karoline Leavitt sits still, calm, composed, not smug, not triumphant, but steady, watching Whoopi with the same quiet focus she had when all of this began. She looks like someone who saw this moment coming, like she's been waiting for it. Whoopi's attorney returns with tissues, a water bottle, and a few whispered words of comfort, but Whoopi doesn't speak, doesn't smile, she just sits there, breaking apart. When the court resumes, she's no longer the commanding voice America once tuned in for, she's now a cautionary tale, a warning about what happens when a carefully crafted public image crashes into private recklessness. Karoline finally leans toward her own lawyer and says just 2 words, let's continue. Because to her, the show isn't over, it's just getting started. Behind the polished smiles, cheerful mugs, and choreographed banter of daytime TV, ABC is in a total meltdown. Forget the calm press statements and corporate spin, what's happening behind the scenes is a full-on crisis, one that insiders are calling the most destabilizing event in The View's modern history. Why? Because this courtroom drama isn't just about Whoopi, it's dragging the entire production machine, and even ABC itself, into the harsh light of public scrutiny. Inside ABC's headquarters, panic mode has gone nuclear. Senior executives are jumping onto emergency Zoom calls multiple times a day, some even before dawn, just trying to measure the damage. Every conversation is sealed tight, NDA-bound, confidential. One insider whispered, we thought this lawsuit would fizzle out, it's now a full-scale disaster. The legal team is working around the clock, combing through past episodes, internal emails, and Slack logs, looking for anything that could shield the network from fallout. ABC's HR department has reportedly been ordered to audit every political guest segment aired in the last 18 months, but that's only the beginning. Multiple advertisers have already started pulling away quietly, a luxury skincare brand gone, a longtime auto sponsor pausing all ad placements until further notice. It's not a public boycott, it's a calculated retreat, because no brand wants to be caught in the middle of a $800 million defamation inferno. Inside The View's production offices, the mood is apocalyptic. Staff are updating resumes, associate producers are sneaking off for coffee meetings with rival networks, and several interns have reportedly asked if their names might end up in the court filings. ABC is now combing through Whoopi's contract line by line, not just for performance clauses or legal safety nets, but for moral clauses, public responsibility standards, and behavioral expectations. Translation, they're searching for a way out. Sources say private discussions about gracefully transitioning Whoopi off the show have already begun. Marketing has pulled all upcoming promos featuring her.
It's not good for anyone, and it's not good for poor folks. It is not good for y'all because you become slave fodder. It's not a good thing. It's not good for women because you are now being told and dictated to, and you can't say anything because they, throw you in a jail or whatever. And people got very, very, very angry and still are angry. I mean, I'm getting, all of the mail from folks and the very real anger because people feel very differently.
Even reruns of controversial episodes are being quietly pulled from syndication, and here comes the dagger. ABC is already drafting a formal exit strategy for Whoopi Goldberg. According to insiders, the plan includes a public health-related hiatus, a carefully scripted on-air farewell, a smooth transition to a refreshed host panel, and tightly controlled media talking points for damage control in follow-up interviews. No one will say it outright, but behind closed doors, insiders are blunt. Whoopi might be out, not next year, not next season, but very soon. Because as this legal firestorm grows more intense by the day, ABC understands the true stakes. It's not just about one host, it's about protecting the entire brand. If they don't move fast, it's not just Whoopi's legacy that's in jeopardy, it's the View itself. And while Whoopi Goldberg buckles under the weight of her own words and ABC scrambles to stop the bleeding, Karoline Leavitt is skyrocketing in the public eye. This isn't just a bold conservative voice standing her ground, this is turning into the media moment of the decade.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
Across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter, clips of Karoline Leavitt's calm and composed courtroom presence are going viral, being clipped, stitched, and dissected frame by frame. Hashtags like hashtag expose the receipts, hashtag Karoline stands tall, hashtag media accountability, and hashtag receipts not rants are trending worldwide. She didn't yell, didn't walk out, didn't even flinch. What did she do? She showed up in court wearing a navy blazer, her hair neatly tied back, holding a thick binder full of evidence, and sat through hours of depositions with the composure of someone decades older. No eye rolls, no dramatic reactions, just unwavering focus. Commentators from all sides of the political aisle are actually agreeing on one thing: whether you support her politics or not, this is exactly how you respond to a media smear: calm, prepared, and unshakably professional.
Most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
Fox News anchors are calling Karoline Leavitt a future legal and political powerhouse, and even CNN analysts, yes, even CNN, have described her courtroom performance as strategically flawless. Some notable center-left writers on Substack have openly admitted Karoline did her homework, and it shows. But it's not just political pundits taking notice. Behind the scenes, celebrities are quietly reaching out in support. One A-list actress reportedly slid into Karoline's Instagram DMs with a simple message: "You're braver than most of Hollywood combined." And honestly, it's not an exaggeration. In a media culture where public figures usually respond to attacks by either lashing out or staying silent, Karoline chose a third option: she brought the receipts. Literal, time-stamped, courtroom admissible receipts. No dramatic rants, no self-pity, just solid evidence. The kind of evidence that transforms headlines into liability and forces even the loudest critics to sit up and pay attention. What's even more impressive? Since the trial began, Karoline hasn't spoken a single word to the press, no interviews, no tweet threads, no cryptic Instagram captions. While the View's team scrambles to shift blame and control the narrative, Karoline's approach has been consistent and powerful: let the truth speak for itself and let the public decide. And guess what? The public is absolutely watching. Clips of her courtroom composure have already racked up over 50 million views across social media platforms. Petitions demanding accountability from ABC and other networks for misleading and biased coverage have now gathered more than 2 million signatures. Think about that: a 20-something former press secretary, once dismissed as too young and too conservative to be taken seriously, is now being hailed as a textbook example of how to challenge media narratives the right way. Some are even calling her Gen Z's first courtroom icon. She's not just fighting a lawsuit, she's reshaping the media landscape. Because for too long, legacy outlets like Theview have hidden behind the label of entertainment while launching thinly veiled attacks on voices they don't like. Karoline Leavitt didn't just push back, she's setting a new precedent. And in doing so, she may have accomplished something no one saw coming. She made the truth trend. Now that the dust is starting to settle, it's your turn to weigh in. Let's not pretend this is just another celebrity courtroom spat. This isn't tabloid drama, it's a real turning point in how powerful media platforms are held to account. So here's the question. Should Whoopi Goldberg be forced to step down from The View after years of lecturing audiences about morality, justice, and public responsibility? Is it fair that she now faces consequences for her own words aired on national TV? Should ABC let her quietly walk away, or should they make her answer for what happened on their platform? Was Karoline Leavitt right to take this to court? Did she go too far, or did she finally do what so many others have been too afraid to do? Stand up, say, enough, and challenge the machine. Did she just expose a long-standing pattern of unchecked mockery and bias disguised as just commentary? And most importantly, is this the beginning of the end for legacy media bullying? Have we reached the moment where shows can no longer hide behind a laugh track and say, it's just TV? Has Karoline Leavitt finally pulled back the curtain and revealed how performative, manipulated, and agenda-driven these platforms really are? Because if this lawsuit sets a precedent, it won't stop at Whoopi. It could ripple across every network, every talk show, every host, and every producer, and force them to finally ask, what's my accountability when I speak into that mic? So now, drop your take in the comments. I'm reading everything, every hot take, every counterpoint, every mic drop moment. This isn't just a recap, it's a conversation. And your voice? It matters. Before you go, smash that like button if you believe in accountability, no matter how famous someone is. Subscribe for more fearless commentary that mainstream media wouldn't dare to say out loud. And share this with someone who still thinks The View is just harmless daytime television fluff, because what just happened wasn't fluff. It was a cultural wake-up call. A line in the sand. And Karoline Leavitt? She's standing at the front of it, binder in hand, megaphone in the other. She's not just defending herself, she's leading a movement. Stay tuned, because if this courtroom collapse is any indication, the real firestorm hasn't even started yet.